So the game starts with e4, e5. The standard king's pawn opening. From this, white is proclaiming the control over center. Black is doing the same thing. So it is a traditional response. After e4 and e5, you may want to try knight f3, one of the most played move. But wait a minute, guys. I wanted to play knight c3 instead of knight f3. Now, what is the point behind knight c3? You're just defending this pawn. That's the one point. But at this point of time, your opponent is probably gonna play knight f6, one of the most played move, and then only you have to play f4. It is called the Vienna Gambit Fogbear variation. The moment you play f4, guys, believe me, it will provide you 57% win rate. Meanwhile, for the black, it's only 40% win rate. That means there is 17% gap for a draw, basically. But the main point is that after f4, you are definitely gonna win this game if you will watch this video carefully. So guys, this is the Vienna Gambit, and in this video I'm going to show you 4 major most played lines. These 4 moves are pawn takes pawn, we have d5, d6 and knight c6. So these are the 4 moves, and guys, this is called the Vienna Gambit. This is me Shubham Kumar, your host. You are watching Mr. Citadel Chess, and let's start this video. Let's start the Vienna Gambit. So after you reach on this position, the most played move by the black is pawn takes pawn. As you can see in the database, it's ex f4 the first number, d6 as second, d5 third and knight c6 at the fourth number. So let's go with the first number. It's pawn takes pawn. The moment we have pawn takes pawn, you don't have to panic because you have just sacrificed a pawn just to gain a lead in development, and you have to play e5 hitting on this knight. Now this knight doesn't have really good squares to go because these squares are controlled by our knight. Moreover, knight to these squares g5 and g4 and h5 are controlled by the queen. So the only possible square for the knight is knight back to this g8, which most of the player are gonna play. But some player try to be tricky and they play queen e7 to pin this pawn to the king, and you have to calmly play queen e2, just unpinning this pawn. Right now this knight is just hanging. No one can protect this knight, therefore knight has to move away. And then you have to make sure that queen h4 doesn't become a threat for your king. And to protect your king from this threat, you have to play knight f3 to control h4 square. That's a very key move in this situation. So don't forget to play this move. Now black may try to hit this pawn twice. So he will play knight c6, the most played move. And then you have to play d4 defending this pawn. And also hitting on f4. That's fine because we have gambited a pawn. So we need to get it back soon as possible. So we have d6 hitting on this pawn. It's not that I'm saying it, but in the database, it's actually 51% people are gonna play d6. And after d6, you have to do only one move, and that's knight d5, hitting on this queen, straightforward attack, and also threatening c7 fork on this king and this rook, kind of a Friday attack. It's literally very amazing. So queen has to guard this c7 square, therefore queen goes back to the, okay, not back, but queen d7 is the most played move. Okay, that's fine. Queen d7 is the most played move. I was thinking queen d8, but queen d7 is the most played move. That's fine. But you still have to go with knight take this pawn at c7, going for a fork here, and that's very great. So queen take this knight, the most played move, and then only you have to play pawn takes pawn at this d6, hitting on this queen. And also a discover check on this king. That being said, the queen is just lost. So queen defends, just take the queen. Guess what? You won a queen, you won the match. So guys, we are back on the previous position where we discussed queen e7, pinning this pawn to the king. Let's say what will happen if your opponent doesn't play smart but positional and play knight back to g8. Then what will happen? You have to play knight f3, just controlling this h4 square. As I said, queen h4 can become a threat on your king's residency. Therefore, you have to protect this h4 square. Now we have d6 hitting on this pawn. Simply go with d4, defending it, and also hitting on this f4. So we have pawn takes pawn. And guys, guess what? You could take this pawn, but we have queen takes queen. That will be devastating for you. Therefore, you have to play, yes, bishop to this c4, hitting on this f7 square. Let them take your pawn. That doesn't matter because we are going to take their king. So let them take our pawn. So pawn takes pawn, then we have bishop take this pawn, that's fine, hitting on this pawn and also controlling these two diagonals. So we have pawn takes knight because that knight was hanging, and then only you have to go bishop sacrifice, bishop x7 check, king to this e7. If king takes this bishop, we have queen takes queen, so that's fine with us. Therefore king has to move at this e7. Then you have queen e to check on this king. Guess what? King take this bishop, and then we have knight check. If king goes to e7, then we have very devastating attack. It's knight c6, and now the queen is just lost because that's a double check by knight also, and also fork on this queen. So guys, this queen is just lost. Therefore guys, king has to go at f6, and then we have bishop check on this king. Guess what? If king take this knight, we have, yes, bishop take this queen. So therefore king has to take this bishop, and then only you have to go with knight f7 check on this king. Also fork on this queen and this rook, kind of a royal fork. Guess what? You are still gonna play a game, still gonna win this game. Now after this check, king can go at f6. That's fine. You could take this queen. But what will happen if I tell you that you can take this king also? So how can you do it? It's actually by castle. So after going for a castle, that's again check on this king. Now this knight is protected. Therefore, bishop comes for a defense. Then you simply just sacrifice our rook. King takes again a check. King moves away, and now we have queen g4. Again check on this king. Now the king is just trapped. King has nowhere to go. Therefore, queen has to defend it. Queen takes queen. Guess what? It just checkmate because that's a defender by the knight. Okay guys, we are back on the previous position where we discussed pawn takes pawn. That is the most played move. Let's say what will happen if your opponent played d6, the second numbered most played move. The moment we have d6, simply go with knight to f3 because you have to guard this h4 square. That's a key maneuver in this whole Vienna gambit. So we have pawn takes pawn, simply go with d4, controlling the like this, controlling the center, and also hitting on this pawn by bishop. That's fine. We have knight h5 defending this pawn because you are hitting it. And guess what? We have knight d5 hitting on this pawn twice. So we have g5 defending this pawn, and you simply go with knight take this pawn. So queen could take this knight, I know, but that's the trap, guys. That's the only trap. So queen take this knight, and then you have to sacrifice your queen. Now where I mean, how can you sacrifice your queen? Remember guys, knight f6 can be a fork on this king and this knight, but we can't do a fork on the knight, right? So we need someone at this knight's place. Therefore we have to go with queen take this knight. Queen takes, and then simply play knight f6 check on this king. So let's say king move anywhere he want. Let's say king e7. Okay, not queen. Okay, it is a king. So king e7, simply just take this queen. That's fine. Hitting on this pawn. What? Twice. Let's say they play something like bishop h6 defending this pawn. You could take this pawn anyway. Bishop takes, bishop takes. What do you have? 1 point lead. Guess what? This king is still in center. Simply go for a queenside castle because these pawns are not that much stable, and you have a great center here. That's fine. Literally, that's literally very fine. So that's the thing. You can win this game. You have plus 2.4 rating by the engine. I think you can win this game. Okay. Okay guys, we are back on the previous position where we discussed pawn takes pawn and we discussed d6. Let's move on the third numbered most played move, d5, going for a counter attack. That's the same maneuver that we often see in the King's Gambit, named as the Fogbear counter gambit. But in the Vienna Gambit, d5 refers to the main line Vienna Gambit. So there is no specific counter in this situation. You just have to play logically. Don't worry about it. Simply just go with a pawn takes pawn, hitting on this knight. So we have knight take this pawn. Simply just go with a queen to this f3, hitting on this knight, hitting on this pawn, and also defending our knight. Let's say if knight takes knight, the most played move, then we have pawn takes knight. Just keeping queen f3 and maintaining pressure at this d5 square. Now we have knight c6 development. Simply go with the d4, halting this advance, and also just going for this long chain. Then we have bishop e7 development. Simply go with bishop d3, also development. Castles, we have knight e2 development. And now guys, at this point of time, as per the database, the most played move is f6. Now, why do they play f6? The motive behind playing f6 is that they want to open this f file for their rook because our queen is present at the f file. That's why they play f6. So, let them play f6. So, we have f6 and simply go with queen h5, just controlling this diagonal and also hoping go for this checkmate. That's fine. Now, we have g6. Just blocking the queen's path, but don't worry, sacrifice your bishop. That's fine. We have pawn take bishop, we have queen take this pawn. King moves away, simply go for castle. And now you have multiple ways to go for a checkmate. Like bishop h6 can also lead to queen g7 checkmate. And also rook f4 and then rook h4 lead to a checkmate. So don't worry, either way you are gonna win this game. Just play logically because even if you are down by 1 point, but the engine rating is plus 5.9 because king is very much vulnerable. Just don't trade pieces. Keep your pieces on the board and play logically. Let me show you an interesting line here, guys. Let's say they play rook g8. Then we have simple queen h6 checkmate. So that's actually very great. Okay, there is another interesting line here. So let's say if pawn takes pawn, then simply go for this check here. Let's say king moves away. You have this check again. Let's say king moves away. Go for this check again. King moves away, and then you play this bishop s6 hitting on this rook. So most of the player are gonna play rook takes rook. Simply go with rook takes rook again. The most played move here is bishop e6. That's fine. Bishop e6. Then simply go for this check here. Just king moves away, simply go with queen g7 or checkmate. So guys, this is I mean, there are a hell lot of ways on which you can win this game. So just play logically and you will win this game definitely. Okay guys, we are back on the previous position where we discussed pawn takes pawn, we will discuss d5, we discussed d6. Let's move on our last leg of the video, and that's knight c6, the fourth numbered most played move. Then what do we have? It actually pawn takes pawn. Then we have knight take this pawn. That's why knight came at c6 to defend this pawn. Simply go with d4. And guess what guys? This is kind of a Halloween gambit, but we don't have our knight sacrificed at e5. So right now we still have our knight at g1, and that's very great thing about Vienna gambit. Like we are controlling the whole board like a puppet. So we have knight moves away, simply go with a pawn to e5 hitting on this knight. Let's say knight g8, then simply go with knight f3 defending this h4 square. I said you multiple times, queen h4 should not become threat for your king, right? Because that's a very vulnerable square. So you have to play knight f3, definitely. Simply go with a d6 hitting on this pawns. Then we have bishop c4 just going for development. Pawn takes pawn, and we simply have castle. Don't worry about it. We have pawn takes pawn, and guess what? Yes, knight g5 hitting on this square thrice. That's great. Pawn take this knight because that was hanging. As usual, people are gonna play. Now we have bishop takes on f7. Check on this king. King can't take it because that's a defense by rook and this knight. That's fine. So king e7. Then we have rook e1. Check on this king. Let's say king f6, the most played move, or the actually only move. Let me just say, that's the only move. So king f6. Then we have queen f3 hitting on this king. And guess what? Yes, king can't move anywhere, so bishop has to defend it. And the final blow, rook e6, is just a simple checkmate. Wow, that's fine. And this was the Vienna Gambit. I have shown you 4 most played move in the Vienna Gambit, and I hope that you have loved it. I hope that you have understood that how intense this Vienna Gambit is, how easy this Vienna Gambit is, and how fast it can go for a checkmate. So guys, this is all for today. I hope you have liked this video. If you really liked this video, then do like, share, comment, subscribe the channel, and I will meet you in the next video. So till then, take care.